In the last episode, I started to build up the Fletcher Villa. I know, it's a horrible name. It is really starting to take shape around here, I'd say so myself. But what I want to do in today's episode is 3 tasks. 2 of these tasks have been on my to-do list for a while now, and the time has come. Task 1 is to open up the river so that way we can start beautifying it and make this ugly river actually look pretty. Task 2 is to add pathways from Fletcher Villa to the bridge so that way we can start marking out future buildings for this town. Task 3 is to expand on the Fletcher Villa because I've been hard at work coming up with designs and hopefully you will like that concept that I am going for here. Now if you're excited, let's jump into the episode and start getting to work. Good day, good morning, good afternoon, or whatever time of the day it is that you're watching this episode. My name is Q and welcome back to the Old School Let's Play series. So I'm currently over here down by the river that is separating the farmer district to the fisherman district. In the last episode, we did get up into expanding on the Fletcher Villa. We added in this retaining wall and a little pathway going up there. But what I want to get done for today is to expand out this river, making it look all nice and pretty, get some pathways marked up over there so that way I know where future builds are going to go for the fisherman village and eventually actually start planning out the town for the fishermen's. And I also do have some extra designs that I want to pop up there for the Fletcher Villa, which I have been hard at work designing. So without further ado, I just kind of want to explain the whole purpose of expanding this out, because as you can see down under here, it's just not looking pretty at all. I mean, yeah, it is okay, but it just doesn't make any sense for the factor of how this land is flowing of the water. As you can see for this river, it's just not quite caught up, connected in the sense where, how does this even make sense? We got a little pool of water right there. We got a pool of water right here. We got a river over there. We got a river over here, and it just stops. Now that doesn't make a lick of sense to me. I am no scientist, but hey, I know water. It just doesn't stop, and then there's a pool, and then it continues. So let's get to work expanding this open. Maybe we can do a cool little montage of just some cool action shots, like an action movie kind of a sense, you know, like preparing for a big fight or something. I don't know. Eddie, see what you can do. Well, as you can see, it has opened up just a bit more. It is connected all the way through, but we do have these spots of running water that do need to be fixed. I'm not entirely sure just how deep I really want to go, so I'm kind of stopping at this level, but it is all the way connected through. Plus, I need better tools and I need better enchantments on my armor to actually make this a lot faster of a process, as you could probably see through the time lapse. So the next thing that I want to do is I need to gather up some materials. I'm thinking coarse dirt, rooted dirt, and spruce buttons, so that way I can start actually marking out and laying out the pathways. So let me gather up all those resources and then we'll be right back and start actually figuring out the pathway. Alright, so I did spend some time. I did gather up quite a bit of resources. We got quite a bit of coarse dirt. We got quite a bit of rooted dirt, quite a bit of spruce buttons. And the point of this white wool here is I'm going to just mark out the pathways with this white wool so that way I kind of have an idea of how I actually want to lay out the pathways. Now, that may not make much sense, but in the sense it's like, you know, a little mock-up before I actually start digging and placing all of the blocks instead of being like, oh yeah, this is how I like it here, and then be like, oh, actually, no, I don't like it that way. So I'm going to use wool to kind of mock it up a bit to see if I'm going to like it first, and then I'm going to actually then place in all the coarse dirt, rooted dirt, and spruce buttons to make a beautiful pathway. So we'll get cracking on that as soon as it turns day, because, you know, I'm going to sleep and that'll get cut. and you guys won't see that. Right, Eddie? So standing over here by the bridge, I know I want the main pathway to actually run down along this way. This cow pen, this little field, those little sheeps right there, that's all going to be temporary. But the main road is going to actually come across to here and line up with this road to the World Library. This needs to be beautified. That's kind of like the makeshift tree farm and my little fishing dock that I got going on down over there. But what I want to do is actually have a secondary pathway where it kind of loops around and it kind of comes down along the shoreline here. So I want it to like branch off of here and kind of come down along this coast, which I don't want to get too close to the coast because I want to do stuff along this coastline. Well, riverbank? Is it a riverbank or is it a coastline? It's a riverbank. So I'm going to want the road to just kind of go with it and then kind of start to come up. So I want to do some like bigger things right here, more of like storage stuff. Like, 'cause I want boats to be able to come through the river, go off into like different districts and everything of that sense. Because eventually we will leave this area once it gets all nice and beautiful and we'll start working on a different area. Or if I get tired of looking at this and I want to try something different and new, then I'll head over to a whole different area and start doing work over there. So thinking just continue to carry it along this way. We'll then kind of loop in over here and then maybe we'll kind of jet over this way a bit and then kind of curve in a little bit to, because I don't really like straight up pathways that are just straight with, you know, straight up intersections. Like I don't like roads that are like this. I want it to be a bit more curvy, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like it's less natural if it's just a straight path versus if there's some curve to it, then it's kind of more an actual beaten down pathway of that sense. And then obviously the main road coming up here to the Fletcher Villa is going to end up connecting up into here. This whole building right here is temporary because that was built actually in the second episode of a basic villager breeder. Because I'm thinking I'm going to rebuild this whole thing to make it actually look prettier in the sense. And I don't know if I want to relocate it to up there so the villagers drop down and then it's easier to transport or have the option of different elevations. But I'm thinking probably going to move it up there and it'll be like something to do with the corner right here next to Fletcher Villa. And probably like a big warehouse or something's going to go here at some point. So maybe we'll kind of keep that in mind and we'll curve a pathway to go this way. And then maybe we can even have like a staircase that kind of comes up to where the villager breeder is going to be sitting up there. Because I think that's a good idea to have the villager breeder moved over there instead of just sitting right here. And then I'm thinking as a part of this intersection, we'll have the pathway running down along the side of the World Library here. And then reconnect up to the pathway down here. Because I want to eventually revamp this whole entrance right here down to where we have the toolsmiths, weaponsmiths, and the armor villagers, which eventually we got to get the armor villagers down there and start getting them rocking and rolling of trade so that way I can get better enchantments. Because I'm trying to do more of the sense of realism that there's people here in this district that you got to trade with them and everything instead of just enchanting stuff and that's how you get things done. That it's more so of like, hey, I'm going to do jobs for you. You give me rewards for doing these jobs and these tasks. And then I get granted stuff. So that's kind of like where the feel and the vibe of that's going towards. So I'm liking that layout that, you know, pathway will continue that way. It reconnects over there to the main path. We have it coming along the coast. Splits off to go up here to Fletcher Villa. And now I'm kind of thinking with what little bit of wool we got left here, that maybe this will actually be a big intersection and then we can do something in the center of here and kind of have a pathway working around more of the sense of this way and then kind of squaring off. Not quite squaring off, but being more of a straighter path down to here. I'm thinking that's going to work okay because we have plenty of space to put in buildings. We can have side alleyways and stuff like that. This marking out is for the main pathway that's going to be a decent, you know, chunk wide. I'm not exactly sure exactly how. Wow, say that 10 times fast, okay? Say exactly over and over again. But let's get into our camera mode here. And if we just kind of look at what we've laid out for a roadway. So again, keep in mind we're coming off the bridge here, going straight down the main pathway, and then eventually there'll be more and stuff going on this way. Maybe this will be the main road, the stretch of road that'll connect us to eventually different cities and districts and towns and everything across the entire world. So let's keep that in mind that this is going to be an open path for the main road, as you'll say. And then we'll have like all these different, you know, side roads, back roads, whatever. Then we'll have like little tiny alleyways within, you know, the different buildings and stuff like that. So I'm liking this, how it kind of comes along the shore, then it kind of comes up because I want to do some bigger builds here of like, there's boats or something, or there's like little fishing huts, so like, taller towers or something, or maybe like a gate bridge and like holding back more of this water. Because back over here, it's more like deeper and everything. And then over here, it's kind of like more shallow. So think of that like this is more, everyday kind of fishing right off the shore and then further into the coast. Well, yeah, further inland here that it gets more deeper with the bigger boats heading out in that direction. And then maybe we can actually like splice it here somewhere, because that connects off into the ocean, that connects off over there into the ocean. So maybe we'll do something of that, like we'll have a big port kind of a situation set up over here. And then this will just be kind of more of the everyday scenario of like, hey, you just want to sit on the pier and throw your, line out into the water or over this little footbridge. Yeah, you can do that. And then coming across here, obviously we can do some more plans to leave it open to have more roads going out that way. Like, as I just said, like that kind of came to mind. It's just expanding on over into that direction. So we can do that. I like the curve of it kind of coming around, and we can have some cool things set up right here. Again, that's probably going to be like a storage warehouse or something, or maybe even like just a cool tower or, something eventually. And then it loops back in over there. So I'm liking this layout right here, but I know you guys are getting sick of hearing my words. So why don't we do a really cool speedy up time lapse of me actually taking out this wool and placing in what I can of materials of what I've gathered up. And hopefully we'll get something looking pretty cool. So Eddie, do something cool with the footage this time. Make it hip-hop-y or something. I don't know. You work your magic, Eddie. Well, I ran out of coarse dirt, but I did try to sprinkle in some more of the rooted dirt to expand what I had left of the coarse dirt. But it's looking good. So we have a solid path from the bridge all the way over here to the Fletcher Villa. We aren't connected to any other sense. We're missing that section there, right above my head, all the way back down past the World Library there. Didn't have enough to change the pathway from the bridge to the World Library, but we have a solid path from the bridge coming along the riverbank there, all the way up over here to this pathway coming here into Fletcher Villa. So yeah, I need to gather up some more stuff, and I'm going to leave the wool there to keep, an idea in my head that, hey, remember, you're doing a pathway there, you need to get up some more coarse dirt. I did try to grab some from over there, but from that spruce forest, but that also didn't help. So I need to spend some time actually gathering up coarse dirt and gravel, and because I got all kinds of dirt. I just need more gravel. But what I want to do to wrap up for today's episode, hang on. Don't click away just yet. Don't click away just yet. Okay? Eddie has a surprise for you. Okay? All right. You see this little house right here? You see this little house? It's vacant, right? Well, that's because we need more things up here to actually make it worthwhile to get more villagers up here. So I'm going to get building of doing some more buildings to add on to this little Fletcher house right here. And Eddie is going to do some cool stuff. So don't click away just yet. We're going to do some more building, because I know you don't like to listen to me talk. So, Eddie, put something on the screen so that way the people can just stop listening to me, because you just want to see stuff being built. Woo! we completed 2-ish of the 3 tasks that I wanted to do today. We opened up the river, we added onto the pathway, made the pathway actually, to connect from the farmer district all the way to the fisherman's district, and we added onto the Fletcher villa. So we now have a second house. We have this cool little tower that will eventually, once I get my hands on more jungle wood, because I need more jungle fences, so I remind myself that, hey, put one here to remind myself there. This is going to extend the pathway out to go along this edge here. So thinking that the villager breeder is going to sit over there, then this could be connected to the top layer of it. We can have them drop down to one layer and then down to the next layer. So it could be like a multi-tier, you have your breeder up high and then you have separate levels to bring them up and down in that sense of like, oh, I want to ship them out along this level, or I want to ship them along this level, or ship them up along this level so it saves me more time and effort. So having this tower here and attached into the second and into the first house here, so we had... we never did have a villager in here. I never did get one in here because, yeah, I wanted to build up this house as well, and I need more jungle to, need more jungle wood to make the doors, to make the fence gates, to make the flooring. But essentially, that is all that is the time for today's episode, folks. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below for more ideas to give me and send them my way of, hey, you should build this because of this reason, or hey, I like this, or even more name suggestions and everything. So at the time of this recording that there are no name drops for the cats down there, so we're looking for names. I'm looking for names. I need help with names. But yes, and if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It is free after all, and I am trying to hit the goal of 500 subscribers by the end of this year, 2024. So if you want more of this style of content, you like what I'm producing here, you like how Eddie edits down these videos, then hit that button. But anyways, guys, have yourselves a good day.